Good day, everyone. My name is Mahbubulah, and I welcome you all to my channel, Mahbubulah Explains. Here we'll be looking to simplify anatomy so that you can understand it easily. So this is my first video, as you can see, and today we'll be looking at the terms that I use in anatomy. Terms you need to understand, because if you understand them, then you basically understand the anatomy. And like my lecturer always say, cramming doesn't work. You just have to understand the difference. Once you do, everything is going to click. So the terms we're going to be looking at are, we have the anterior, posterior, superior, the inferior, the medial, and the lateral terms. I'm going to explain them, and I'm also going to give you examples using these two specimens right here as an organ or structure, and we can use this as also an organ or structure. I think you're going to love it. So bismillah. So for this anterior, the anterior is simply when a structure is in front of another structure. For example, let's look at this as the heart. We can say anteriorly to the heart is the sternum. You understand? Because the sternum, yes, it is anterior to the heart, you understand? Now for posterior, posterior is simply something that is behind. Simply something that is behind. So we can say posterior to the heart. Posterior to the heart, we can say maybe the latissimus dorsi also, although the latissimus dorsi is way posterior, but let's use that as an example. It's posterior to the heart, it is the latissimus dorsi muscle, you understand? And then for the superior, superior is simply something that is above you, as the name implies, superior, you understand? It's simply something that is above you. So for example, if this is the heart, we say superiorly, the heart is bounded by the clavicle. Yes, you can say it's bounded by the clavicle, or we can say that superior to the heart is the neck region. Yes, we can also use that as an example. Now inferiorly is simply when something is below the structure. So we can say inferiorly, the heart is bounded by the diaphragm muscle. Yes, because the diaphragm encloses, the diaphragm was very essential. Inferiorly, the heart is bounded by the diaphragm muscle, exactly. So which leaves us with the two the two complex ones that are kind of hard to understand, but I'll try my best, which are the medial and the lateral. You see, the best way to explain this is, we're not going to look at this as structure anymore. This is the body, and this is another body. So when we want to say that now the white remote is medial to the black remote, then it will be like this. Medial is simply when the structure is more closer to the main body, while lateral is when the structure is away from the main body. Example, it's away from the main body. Example. For example, here, if I hold my arm up like this right now, my arm is medial to my body. You understand? If I do it like this and I move it away, it is currently, the bicep, it is currently what? Lateral from my body. It is away from my body. So that's essentially just how the video goes. You understand? It is as medial and lateral. That's how it is. Basically just distance. The more closer it is to you, it is medial. The more far away it is from you, it is lateral. Exactly. Which leaves us with the planes. You see, in anatomy, I think throughout because I studied anatomy at Federal University, really Kebbi. I'm a graduate, alhamdulillah, I finished last year, mashallah. So, looking at all the planes that it taught us, I think the three most commonly used one are the coronal plane, the sagittal plane, and the transverse plane. You say this is the body right now. A transverse plane divides the body into up and down part. It basically severs it, maybe you can say at the hip. That is the transverse. The coronal divides the body into like this. It divides it like that into the front and back parts. While the sagittal plane divides the body into the left and right part. The sagittal plane divides the body into the left and right part like this. It severs it like this. Sagittal plane. The coronal plane divides the body into the what? It divides it from the midline, from the middle of the head like this above, into the front and the back part. So that's the planes we are going to be looking at. I think those are the essential ones. maybe later on I'll keep studying, see where to look at. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Mahbubulah. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.